International schools educating without required accreditation. Wolbachia program concludes with attention turning to 2 years of monitoring. Artists reveal inspiration among hardship at art school celebration. Welcome back to RTTL World News. I'm Sonia Madeira. While international schools are rapidly growing in Timor-Leste, offering international curriculums and English medium instruction, many are operating without the proper licenses or accreditation. Consequently, this lack of accreditation has left many students moving toward locally approved schools.
Ismail British transferred to Santa Bernadette Superior's School to adapt to a different learning system.
I moved here because my parents wanted it and because in my previous school the students did not attend the national exam, and this year there will be a national exam. So I transferred here so that I can learn the subjects that are going to be tested in the national exam.
Another student recently transferred from an international school to Santa Bernadette.
In my previous school, there was no national exam and the subjects were different. Therefore, my parents moved me here.
The Santa Bernadette school confirmed that students transferred to the school simply because of personal family choices.
There are 2 students who transferred from an international school here. Their parents brought them here.
Timor-Leste's Ministry of Education has identified 24 out of 26 international schools across the country are unlicensed and unaccredited.
We will issue suspensions based on our current assessment of which schools meet the criteria and which don't.
In the meantime, classes at these international schools continue as usual. Thais International School in Dili confirmed it has updated its paperwork with the Ministry of Education after a recent review found some of its documents were outdated.
For Thais, we have our license. Now we are at the phase of getting our accreditation. We are preparing our documents and shortly we will submit to the Ministry of Education to assess our school for accreditation.
The Thais International School adopts the Northern America Division education curriculum.
Our curriculum, we adopt the Northern American Division because our international school is under the North American Division of Seventh-day Adventists.
The school also incorporates a few subjects from the national curriculum into its classes.
We also adopt our national curriculum, for instance, geography and history, and also Tetum and Portuguese, because we want our students to speak our official languages.
Meanwhile, the Timor-Leste Coalition for Education demands the Ministry of Education to close the unlicensed international schools.
The Ministry of Education needs to ask themselves why the international schools continue to operate despite having no license. For me, the schools that have no license are illegal and they need to be shut down.
The Ministry of Education officials have been conducting school inspections since December and are expected to wrap up their evaluation later this month. Alianza Nunes, Judas Magno, RTTL World News.
The Timorese government and its partners officially ended the Wolbachia mosquito release program this week. Thousands of Wolbachia-infected mosquitoes have been spread in Dili. However, experts say it will take 2 to 3 years to see a significant impact in reducing mosquito-borne diseases like dengue, Zika, and chikungunya.
Early monitoring from the Wolbachia mosquito release shows promising results. Dili is on the right track to reduce dengue fever with 60% of its mosquitoes infected with Wolbachia.
According to the monitoring data, there are presence of Wolbachia bacteria in mosquitoes in Dili.
Thousands of mosquitoes have been released across Dili over the last 8 months. The release activity has concluded, but the monitoring work continues in the next 2 years.
We only stopped the release of Wolbachia mosquitoes, but the monitoring continues until 2028.
Community leaders are hoping to see a good result in the coming years.
I hope we can see the decrease in dengue cases next year with the implementation of the Wolbachia program, but we all need to contribute to this effort.
I believe we can reduce dengue cases because the government and its partners implement the program to protect the people from the mosquito-borne disease.
Dengue is endemic in Timor-Leste, with the annual wet season sparking widespread concern over rising cases across the country, particularly in Dili. 24 people have died and over 3,000 have been hospitalized in the last 3 months. The Ministry of Health is working closely with its partners to continue monitoring this Wolbachia initiative.
I hope the mosquitoes with Wolbachia will continue to spread the bacteria to local mosquitoes so that the next generation of mosquitoes will have Wolbachia to block dengue, Zika, and chikungunya viruses.
Hopefully we'll see the fruits of this program and the benefits of this really exciting Australian developed technology that we're really proud to be able to have been a part of, working with the government of Timor-Leste.
The Australian government is committed to continue supporting healthcare services development under a new deal.
Our next commitment is for another 10 years, and that's a $200 million commitment over 10 years, a very significant investment from the Australian government in continuing to support health service improvement here in Timor-Leste.
In Dili, the Wolbachia program has become the focus of hope as the city fights to get rising dengue cases under control. Pauline Quintown, Flavio Barros, RTTL World News.
Since 2003, Artemoris has become the center of Dili's artistic community, supporting artists through the difficult landscape of the industry. During 23rd anniversary celebrations on the weekend, RTTL World News explored Dili's art scene, where artists highlighted the challenges they face and their motivation to keep doing what they love. A 23-year journey cultivating a new generation of Timorese artists.
When we started, we didn't think that we will go this far, but by being together and learning and sharing, after get the talent, we all know the path will be very hard, but it is not impossible.
The works of local artists and students adorn the walls of the art school's gallery, each piece available for purchase.
I'm interested in Timorese art because I think it's very powerful and I like the color of the Timorese paintings, and especially I think what's the special Timor artists, it reflects history and also cultural, many detailed cultural details.
Fernando da Silva is painting a work as a gift for Artemoris' birthday. He has been a member of Artemoris since 2004.
Through painting, I want to say things that sometimes I cannot express with my mouth. But through painting, I can express my feelings.
But has never been motivated to sell his work.
For me, art is not about making a profit. Whether a painting is sold or not depends on the artist. An artist can choose to give their painting to someone or sell it to those who want to buy it. It all depends on each person's perspective. But for me, I paint for myself. So far, no one has bought my paintings.
Maria Mirandolinda expresses herself through her art, but life's challenges continue to loom over her.
As a woman, I sometimes feel this is a huge challenge when I go to painting lessons and come home late at night. Neighbors sneer at me and my family and friends worry about me, but I keep going for what I've chosen.
For Maria, like Fernando, art is more than just about making money.
I don't care if people don't buy my paintings. I only do it for exhibition, not to make money.
The Artemoris director says limited household budgets mean artistic purchases are of a lower priority for the community.
So it's not that Timorese people didn't like the product of art, or most of our people love to have some painting in their house, but it's just not affordable for individual with standard payment. But also some Timorese with quite good income are already start buying.
For him, Artemoris is a place to express creativity, not to make money.
Selling is important, but our main goal is not selling. Our main goal is to see Timorese thrive more creative as a creative people, because our country, the population is majority youth. I think youth people deserve to have a lot of fun, and to have fun, the most places is in art.
It is this artistic spirit that draws students like Christy Mesquita to participate in Artemoris programs.
I'm just a student who wants to learn and experience new things about art. And also, for now, I'm still a student, but I want to join Artemoris because if I graduate, Artemoris can help me to make a better influence in my life. I can make something for people that has a talent and has a passion like me and like our brother and sister in Artemoris. We can make some job for them when they want to join us.
A celebration of art and independence culminating with a diverse performance of local music. Sony Madeira, Basti Noronha, RTTL World News. While Timor-Leste may not share much of its history with Ukraine, both countries have been supportive of each other's quest for peace and independence. Ukraine's ambassador to Malaysia, Dr. Hannadi Nadolenko, recently visited Dili and spoke to RTTL World News reporter Jageres about how this common goal can lead to a prospering relationship between the two countries as Ukraine struggles to fight Russia out of its territory.
How do you assess the current state of bilateral relations between Ukraine and Timor-Leste?
Well, basically, I'm going to be a representative of Ukraine in Timor-Leste, and Ukraine is planning to develop its relation in all spheres. For now, it has not been developed too much, but our leaders met quite just recently. Our presidents met. We communicating very well in United Nations, and we are really thankful to Timor-Leste government and to people of Timor-Leste for supporting Ukraine in United Nations. And as you know, Ukraine was always supportive of Timor-Leste's independence in United Nations.
What opportunities do you see as the most promising between our two countries?
Well, Timor-Leste is a developed nation, and we have a lot to propose to Timor-Leste. You know, Ukraine is a breadbasket of Europe, you know, and we still, even with this war, We still produce lots of grain, lots of agricultural products, you know. So we have really good hopes for development of our trade and economic relations. Basically, we can really bring lots of food to Timor-Leste. For example, wheat, flour, wheat itself, you know, the chicken, pork, whatever, you name it, you know, oil. So basically, this is what Ukraine is good at, you know, agriculture products. Then we can really talk about education, about agriculture, about technology. Ukraine is really good in lots of technological issues, you know. So it's quite a developed country in terms of high tech, you know, in terms of computer technology. So we really can think about those developments as well. And well, basically any technology we can really talk about it. Yes.
How could the experiences of Ukraine and Timor-Leste be compared, and what lessons could be learned from one another?
Basically, two nations which are fighting for its independence. You know, since well, we fighting since 1991. You know, and it was a long time before. You know, we can both talk about some imperial history, but we both know what is the fight for the independence, for what is resilience of the nations, what is standing for its independence and its prosperity.
In your view, what opportunities does Timor-Leste's recent accession into ASEAN bring?
You know, I think ASEAN is a very prominent organization. You know, it's a market of more than 650 million people. You know, it's a huge market, billions of dollars, and I think it's about prosperity. It's about future trade. It's about future prosperity of your nation. You know, you have really good possibilities here. You know, you have really central port here. You have really good trade roads. You know, you just have to organize it. And with being ASEAN member, I think it brings you to a really good perspective in economy, in trade, gives you lots of opportunities here, and Ukraine can help you with that.
It has been just over 4 years since Russia invaded Ukraine in 2022. How has this changed your country and its role in the world?
Unfortunately, you know, Ukraine didn't start this war, and Ukraine is fighting, as I said, Ukraine is fighting for its independence. And I suppose countries like Timor-Leste understand it as we do, you know, with what is fighting for its independence, because I saw how many people just has been killed, in how many people starved here in Timor-Leste during your fight for the independence. With the help of the friends like European Union, like United States, we really winning this fight. So far, you know, in 4 years, Russia could conquer only 1% of the additional 1% of the territory of Ukraine. 4 years, 1%. For what? For 1.3 million lives of Russian soldiers, Russian people. You know, 1.3 million in 4 years they lost for 1% of the territory. This is tremendous losses for Russia. Unfortunately, Ukraine is losing as well, and this is very unfortunate for Ukraine. Every life of every person is very important for Ukraine, and but we didn't start this war. We fighting for our land, we fighting for our territory, and we will do it till the end. But we will win, we will prevail.
Mr. Ambassador, we really appreciate for your presence here. Thank you.
Thank you very much. The pleasure was mine. Thank you.
In international news, Record fuel prices weren't to blame for this interest rate rise, according to the RBA, but they are contributing to the country's inflation challenge. Australia's biggest fuel companies were today hauled before the competition watchdog as the government sought to allay fears that supplies could run out.
From coast to coast, pain at the pump. Drivers navigate prices they've never paid before.
It's $100 extra every week now.
At one of Sydney's busiest low-cost servos, business has slowed to a crawl.
It's very quiet now. It's like hardly 2 customers in 1 hour.
In some areas, diesel now topping $3 a litre. That's above the national average, according to the NRMA, which has unleaded hovering around $2.30.
We are now where we expect to be. That is cold comfort to Australians looking at the price boards and seeing the most expensive prices they've ever had to pay for.
Fuel companies today hauled before the competition watchdog to explain the rapid price spikes as the Treasurer moves to double fines for those found to be price gouging.
They are on notice.
The government is on alert, but seeking to hose down concerns fuel supplies could dry up.
All companies say to me that they fully expect all deliveries all through March and well into April.
That uncertainty fueling panic buying and creating shortages in regional areas. For now, rationing is off the table.
Because we don't believe at this point that's what is the best solution.
A good start is to make sure that Australian fuel isn't being exported.
Ampol's Brisbane refinery currently exports the petrol it produces because it doesn't yet meet Australian standards. Last week, those standards were temporarily lowered to allow the fuel to flow into the domestic market. It's one of only 2 refineries left onshore, leaving Australia to import 90% of its liquid fuels.
We must get back to drilling for oil and gas.
The war in Iran has sparked a broader debate about how Australia can bolster its fuel security. But the government's focused on the immediate crisis and the huge challenges it presents for the economy. The Treasurer was already planning a tough budget with little room for new cost of living relief. For now, he's holding the line, knowing further spending would only worsen inflation.
It is known as the beef capital, but Rockhampton is chasing a new title as fishing tourism booms. 10 years of a net-free zone and technology advancements have contributed to the success of a fishing mecca.
From beef to Barra.
We're definitely claiming the barramundi capital of Australia. We're reeling them in here.
The Fitzroy River has seen a spike in trophy-sized barramundi more than 1 metre long, and tourism is thriving.
I'm booked out for 12 to 18 months. I've got some people coming from the UK in the next month, and they'll be coming for 5 days. Last year we had some Hawaiians out on the 2 boats.
Nathan Johnston is expanding his charter business.
Last year we took on a second boat and 2 guides. And this year, just in the next week or so, we're going to commission our 3rd boat.
Suntag figures show about 600 more barramundi were tagged last year than 5 years prior.
The fish that we've had there in that system that were 800, 900 and a metre long, well, they're the ones that are now a metre 20 and a metre 30, and I think this year we'll see a metre 40, so it's pretty exciting.
The annual Barra Bash competition has soared from 50 to more than 100 teams.
Last year's results were outstanding. We saw 764 barra caught over the 2.5 days. 273 of those were over a metre long. So that's your trophy-sized fish.
The fishery's success is being attributed to a net-free zone, which was introduced by the state government more than a decade ago to support recreational fishing and tourism. Advancements in sonar technology, including live sounders, have also transformed the industry.
They can go out there and actually see the fish in real time, and when they're fishing for them, that's important because they're not getting bored, they're not driving up and down the river looking for a stick to throw a lure at.
Anglers are hopeful for a bumper season, which runs until November.
And now the weather with Jigaras.
Thanks, Sonia. Here's the weather for tomorrow. Starting with Dili. Considerable cloud cover with possible thunderstorms. A top temperature of 29 and a low of 24. Overcast and humid in Baucau with scattered showers and a possible thunderstorm, a top of 27 and a low of 21. Lauteng, cloudy with occasional rain and a thunderstorm, a top temperature of 27 and a low of 22. Humid with periods of rain and a thunderstorm in Bobonaro, a top of 26 and a low of 19. In Eleu, thick cloud and humid with showers and thunderstorms, a top temperature of 25 and a low of 17. Now, looking abroad. A morning thunderstorm in parts of Kupang, otherwise mostly cloudy and humid, a top of 30 and a low of 25. Hazy sunshine in Bali, a top temperature of 29 and a low of 18. In Jakarta, mostly cloudy with occasional rain and an afternoon thunderstorm, a top of 32 and a low of 24 degrees. Plenty of sunshine in Seoul, a top temperature of 15 and a low of 0. Darwin, mostly cloudy and humid with a thunderstorm in the afternoon, a top of 32 and a low of 24. Mostly cloudy and humid in Sydney with a couple of morning thunderstorms, a top of 24 and a low of 19. Scattered showers in Lisbon, a top temperature of 18 and a low of 12. The sun will shine through high clouds in London, a top of 16 and a low of just 6. And in Belfast, low clouds in the morning giving way to a sunny afternoon, a top of 16 and a low of 5. That's all for now. Back to you, Sonia.
Thanks, Geddes, and thanks for joining us again on the program. RTTL World News will be back with more stories on Sunday. Bye for now.